All the details we've got about Starfield, Bethesda's space RPG coming in 2023. When Starfield hits in 2023, it'll mark Bethesda's first release of an original RPG in 25 years. Fittingly, the hype is astronomical. First teased back in 2018, we waited for years with only the tiniest tidbits of information being released about the Bethesda space adventure. As we approach its release, we're finally developing a bigger picture of what Starfield is all about. Although Bethesda originally announced a 2022 launch, Starfield has been delayed into 2023. With some extra time on our hands before we go space exploring, we'll continue collecting information about Starfield's story, factions, characters, locations, systems, and spaceships. Here's everything we know so far about Bethesda's next RPG. There hasn't been a whole lot of new information lately. We didn't get specific release date when the delay to 2023 was announced, and an appearance at Gamescom turned out to just be by the game's robot companion, Vasco, for photo ops. The lack of news doesn't mean fans have been idle. Perspective modders have already begun organizing to produce a fan patch opens a new tab, something they've done for other Bethesda RPGs like Skyrim and Fallout 4. In the past, these unofficial patches have fixed hundreds of different, mostly minor, bugs and glitches. I guess everyone's expecting Starfield to be a bit, well, sloppy. Fans are also busy digging into Starfield's map, or what little we've seen of it, hoping to figure out where in the galaxy the action takes place. Only a few stars are known for sure, including our own sun, Alpha Centauri, and Porrima, but some clever Starfield astronomers think they've also identified Altair, Barnard, and Sirius. The last really big occurrence, besides the delay, was when Starfield showed up at the Xbox and Bethesda showcase in June and brought quite a bit of gameplay to show. Starfield is launching in the first half of 2023. Its original release date was planned for November 11, 2022. Bethesda announced the delay in May 2022, saying that the teams at Arcane Austin, Redfall, and Bethesda Game Studios, Starfield, have incredible ambitions for their games, and we want to ensure that you receive the best, most polished versions of them. Meanwhile, impatient fans have tried to figure out the exact date before it's announced. Right now, a theory opens a new tab, is that Starfield will be released on March 23, 2023, but that's really just a guess based on some numbers shown in the trailer that may relate to the patent filed by the Wright brothers for their flying machine back in 1906. You can watch the Starfield E3 trailer above. It's a cinematic showing an astronaut climbing into a spaceship while a robot tromps around on the surface. We get a nice look at the ship while a voiceover says what you've found is the key to unlocking everything, and we've come to the beginning of humanity's final journey. The pilot sits at a console, flips a bunch of switches, and the trailer ends with rockets firing and the ship about to take off. You can also watch the YouTube series called Into the Starfield, which breaks down their inspirations, shows off new concept art, including some gorgeous animated ones, and talks about the game. The second episode talks about factions and shows off some dialogue. The 2022 Xbox and Bethesda showcase gave us our long-awaited first look at real Starfield gameplay, and Todd Howard brought plenty to show the class. On a desolate sulphurous moon called Crete, we get our introduction to an interstellar Bethesda open world, which gives way to gunplay against space bandits. Clips of NPC conversations give us a sense of the player's overarching goal, and the factions they can join throughout their explorations. We get a glimpse of character creation, which Howard calls Bethesda's most flexible yet. There's a skill system, where skills chosen with each level up can gain additional ranks as they're used to provide more benefits. A crafting system will let players modify and customize their space guns. Players will be able to establish outposts as they explore alien worlds, using mechanics that seem more elaborate and fully implemented than the base building in Fallout 4. Then, Todd brings the big guns and unveils Starfield's ship customization. Players completely customizing their look, layout and performance of their spacecraft, down to individual modules from different manufacturers. The gameplay reveal closes out with an explanation of Starfield's scale. In an interview with IGN, opens a new tab, Todd Howard addressed concerns that followed the news of Starfield's 1,000 planets, and whether the procedural generation they'd involve would mean a dearth of polished game to play. While Howard made a point that procedural content was nothing new for Bethesda games, noting Skyrim's procedural Radiant Quest engine, he said that Starfall would have more handmade content than any of the studio's other games. Howard quantified the amount of handcrafted content with some numbers, saying the game's at over 200,000 lines of dialogue. Elsewhere in that interview, Howard estimates the length of Starfield's main story as being around 20% longer than the main quests in Skyrim and Fallout 4. We got a pretty good look at creating and leveling a character during the June Xbox and Bethesda showcase. We saw some templates, body shapes and sizes, skin tones, and hairstyles for your character's physical appearance, though not the details of their faces. You'll choose a background, options like combat medic, bouncer, professor, or homesteader, which all come with 3 starting skills. Character skills are things you'll recognize as Bethesda RPG staples: medicine, lasers, persuasion, bargaining, and the like. As for leveling those skills, Todd Howard says that Starfield's system combines the best from our previous games, meaning that you'll unlock new skills as you level up and then upgrade those skills by using them or completing challenges. If that's not enough role-playing, Starfield also has traits, another system familiar from past games. These are optional choices for your character that come with pros and cons. Space gives you increased health and endurance while in space but decreased on the surface, for instance. According to Howard, these traits are problems you can solve if you get sick of them. Each trait will apparently have an optional quest to nullify it, removing both its positive and negative effects. And different religions, including one that includes the worship of a space serpent, are present in Starfield. These are chosen during character creation and have a couple traits linked to them. Raised Universal is a trait that gives you a discount at the church store but means you can't use the Enlightened store. The Enlightened may be another religion or perhaps a group of space atheists, we're not sure yet. Either way, choosing one religion seems to put you in opposition to the others.